Getting a job in 2025 feels pointless. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Before the video starts, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like and subscribe, and please leave a comment and let me know your thoughts, and hop into my community Discord server. The link is in the description. Very controversial opinion, guys. Getting a job in 2025 feels pointless, and I'm gonna explain why. We have so many economic pressures coming from every which angle. We have a high cost of living. Wages haven't kept up with inflation, housing, healthcare, and education costs. Even a good job doesn't even cover the basics comfortably. We have precarious work, gig work, contract roles, and layoffs make stability harder to find. Jobs can feel just disposable. So you ask yourself, why invest your whole self into it? And then there's automation and AI anxiety. There's a widespread fear that all of our jobs are just gonna be taken over by AI, and we could just be replaced by a machine that could fulfill our role. So why even apply for the job in the first place when that role could be taken over by AI within a couple of years? Then we got cultural shifts. Work isn't identity anymore. Younger generations, my generation included, I'm Gen Z, was born in 1998. Younger generations don't see having a career as the pinnacle of success. We are prioritizing meaning, freedom, and balance. We've also been met with the disillusionment of the corporate life, whether that be burnout, toxic workplaces, and the lack of upward mobility leave us feeling like jobs aren't worth the stress. Then there's some personal factors. The disconnect between work and fulfillment. Many jobs don't feel connected to making the world better or even your own values. Then the mental health toll. Constant grind culture plus uncertainty can make the idea of dedicating decades to just working feel hollow. The younger generations shifting towards alternative paths. People are experimenting with side hustles, freelancing, and community-based living, or even opting out of traditional employment. Let's dive deeper. Economic pressures. The high cost of living. Housing prices in most urban areas have skyrocketed far beyond wage growth. Many younger workers can't even imagine owning a home while rent eats a huge chunk of income. Healthcare, especially in the US, is tied to employment, but even with insurance, out-of-pocket costs are massive. People end up working just to afford to stay healthy. Education debt still burdens millions, and even after getting a degree, the payoff isn't guaranteed. Precarious work. Companies are shifting toward short-term contracts, gig labor, and at-will employment, which means fewer benefits, less stability, and constant job insecurity. Layoffs have almost become normalized, especially in tech and media. Even if you land a solid role, you know it could vanish tomorrow. Gig platforms, Uber, DoorDash, Fiverr, etc. offer flexibility but often trap people in low pay, no benefits cycles. And then the automation and AI anxiety. AI is beginning to take over not only routine tasks, but also knowledge work, writing, designing, coding, customer service. People feel like their career may not exist in 5 to 10 years. Reskilling is constantly preached, but it's exhausting. Many workers feel like they're running on a treadmill that's always speeding up. This creates a background dread. Why invest in a career path if it may be automated away? Let's dive deeper on the cultural shifts. Previous generations were taught that your job equals who you are, but now people see that a job doesn't guarantee stability or fulfillment, so they're less willing to tie their identity to it. Instead, younger generations, millennials, Gen Z, and even Gen Alpha eventually, look for identity in side projects, online communities, or hobbies. the disillusionment with corporate life. Burnout is rampant, with many people experiencing chronic stress, lack of work-life balance, and quiet quitting as a response. Corporate ladders don't function the way they used to, promotions are slow, pay raises minimal, and loyalty isn't rewarded. Many workplaces talk about culture and purpose, but employees see through the buzzwords when it's not reflected in actual treatment. Let's dive deeper on the personal factors. The disconnect between work and fulfillment. Most jobs aren't designed to align with people's passions or values. Workers often feel like they're producing numbers on a spreadsheet, not contributing to something meaningful. Climate change, inequality, and political instability make traditional corporate work feel trivial in comparison to real-world problems. The mental health toll. Constant uncertainty, inflation, layoffs, and global crises create background anxiety. Working long hours without recognition or stability deepens feelings of futility. Depression and burnout make it harder to see a job as anything beyond a survival tool. The shift toward alternative paths. People are increasingly turning to freelancing, self-employment, and solopreneurship as a way to reclaim autonomy. Others are exploring intentional communities, minimalism, or living less to avoid relying on corporate jobs. The internet has made alternative income streams, content creation, digital products, remote work, gigs, more accessible, even if inconsistent. I gotta say, guys, this all is the entire reason why I feel as though trying to get a job in 2025 is almost pointless. Rent is through the roof, housing through the roof, and minimum wage can't cover the basic necessities that people need in order to live a fulfilled life of dignity and self-respect. If I wanted to live on my own right now on a minimum wage income, which for my area is basically 90% of the job market, I unfortunately by myself wouldn't be able to afford that type of lifestyle. I wouldn't be able to do it because I have student loan payments. I would then also have rent payments, which rent for an apartment where I want to live is like already in the $1,000 a month plus. Again, we take into account the fact that I have like a $700 a month student loan bill that I'd have to pay, plus health insurance, plus car insurance. I'm screwed. There is literally no incentive to enter the workforce as a Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Literally no incentive. Why work when I could stay at home and work on my hobbies and better myself as an individual and potentially make something of myself with all of this? That's how I see it right now. Why would I want to go and get a job when I'm viewed as replaceable by a machine, when I'm viewed as a number, when I'm viewed as a cog in the machine? Why would I want to work for that? I am more than just a number. I am a human being who has self-respect, dignity, and frankly, ambition. I have bigger aspirations than just working some stupid 9-to-5 that can't even cover the basic necessities in order to even live in a society. Why would I invest my time into a company that doesn't want to pay me to be able to survive? Fuck that. Fuck every bit of that. In conclusion, guys, there is a lot of work that needs to be done in order for people to want to work again. Yeah, people don't want to work for the money you're paying. We have self-respect. We have dignity. We want to be able to comfortably live in the United States while also being able to put a roof over our heads and be able to enjoy the luxuries of life. We have lots of work that needs to be done in order to correct this system and get us back on track so that way every American has the opportunity to prosper. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date with all the latest content, and share the channel with your friends. It helps the channel grow. Have a great day, everyone.